the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 335 for Thursday, June 16th. Scott Hammer, John Young, and Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from the Dominator Race Products Studio. Tonight on the show, hopefully, we're going to be checking in with Matt and Beth Cogley, new owners of Millstream. I know they're busy this week, and I've been texting them.
really nervous.
Probably a little bit. Last week they were like, yeah, we can make that happen, and then I haven't heard anything this week. So hopefully they'll pop in here in about 10 minutes or so. And then later on in the show, Brennan Sherman, Todd Sherman's son, who's been running Modifieds, picked up his first win. I think it was only his 20th start, too, down at Limaland on Friday. So we're going to talk to him a little bit later on as well.
Is he on schedule to? He's ahead of you?
Ahead of me.
Have you run 20 shows before you won your first feature?
Put in hashtag DCR if you'd like to win. We're back to the window stickers this week. Oh, I forgot to update that. Hashtag DCR to win a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. And you can get those for $5 from DCR Graphics. Here we go. Boom. There you go. Hashtag DCR. Put that in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. We'll draw for that at the end of the show, which reminds me we should probably start collecting those. And here's that sticker. Yeah, you can almost see it. It's probably about the size of a fingernail on your phone.
Hopefully we get some new ones before next week.
Yeah, I got another one that hasn't been claimed. It's in my truck, so we're at least good through next week.
Ooh.
John Young joining us tonight because he's our pizza delivery guy, as a matter of fact. He brought some Big D's Pizza, which we'll be giving away a little bit later on as well.
And dessert pizza.
And dessert pizza and pizza boat. All kinds of good stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of product placement to go along with our Victory Fuel.
Absolutely.
So, fun times tonight. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They do the custom print magnets, canned koozies, tumblers, any picture they have, they can put it on all those items. Make great gift items, too, and, get your Christmas shopping done now. Don't worry about it around Halloween or whenever. I don't know when people do Christmas shopping. Right. Just whenever. Freeze Frame Photo Kids Nights are still back. He's been doing 2 sponsors a night. So
to catch up?
Yeah, maybe to catch up. I'm not sure, but 100 kids getting free 4x6 photos.
That's pretty exciting.
That's pretty cool. $1 for them at Oakshade or wherever he happens to be at a track near you. $50.
I'll bet the Scott Hammer pictures are going like hotcakes.
Probably. When I won that heat race this past week, there was like these kids. They just kept coming. I was like, I don't know where these kids are coming from. I don't know who these kids are. I was like, yeah, here, hold the checker flag. That's
not
cool.
Yours?
No, mine's like old.
Well, I just wasn't sure.
And
maybe there were more.
Nope. Give Charlie a call, 419-407-6994. That's his new number. Freeze Frame Photo, special moments frozen in time. Ron Miller Race Cars. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, parts, oil filters, oil, whatever racer needs. Your shop looked pretty empty the other day. Are you not busy?
Yes.
Yes, you're not busy?
No. I had a bunch of little projects that I've been trying to get caught up on, and tomorrow morning I've got a Barracuda coming in that I'm putting a complete 4-link rear suspension in. So it's not just oval track cars. We do all kinds of stuff.
Classic cars.
A couple of weeks ago we did a complete rear end overhaul in a 1955 Chevy. So
very nice.
We can do it all.
Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race. Full show this weekend. In addition to makeup features for the late models and Dominator Super Stocks, those are makeup features from June 1st. I still have yet to hear when the makeup features from this past weekend are going to be made up, but they will be made up at some point. But this weekend, I do know it's a full show. Late models, DCR Graphic Sportsman, Dominator Super Stocks, Compacts, and the makeup features then for the A and B for the Dominator Super Stocks and the late model A main, which got rained out on June 1st. And last week, same thing happened. We got to the features. And
that'll be a late night, Scott.
I hope not.
Ooh.
I'm leaving early in the morning the next morning, so I hope not. OakShadeRaceway.com, which I was just informed is down, but I have someone working on that, so hopefully that'll be back up. As soon as we find out, that'll be posted there, as well as on social media that you can follow Oakshade Raceway on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's pretty much it. And don't forget, coming up next month, it's about a month away. Actually, it's exactly a month away, July 13th.
Ooh.
It's the penultimate event for the UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals. Saturday, July 13th, 10,000 win birthday race. Summit Racing Modified's in action that night as well.
Yeah.
So, also got to mention Dominator Race Products, DCR Graphics, Dipman Motorsports, Victory Fuel, and Magic Moment Entertainment. We got some action to catch up on from this past week. Let's check out our Racing Roundup.
Racing Roundup.
Attica Raceway Park kicking off the Fast 410 Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Cap Henry picking up the win there. Rusty Schlenk picking up the win in the late models. Limaland also Friday night. Dustin Doby picked up the win in the Great Lakes Super Sprint feature. Brennan Sherman, as I mentioned, picked up his very first career modified win there on Friday night. And Craig Dittman picking up the Thunderstock feature.
I know him.
Yeah. Oakshade Raceway on Saturday, we got the makeup features in. Jesse Jones picking up the DCR Graphics Sportsman feature win. Corey Gum winning another compact A main. And Megan Elliott picking up the win in the compact B main. And again, the features from Saturday night that were regularly scheduled will be made up at a to-be-determined date. Fremont Speedway, second night of the Ohio Sprint Speed Week, and I guess they did double features for the 305s and dirt trucks, trying to rush that show, trying to beat the weather.
Right. Well, and it was really a pretty good thought because they were going to be kind of abbreviated races, and it would have filled the time that would have normally been dead air, no cars on the track between the sprint car events.
Well, Jimmy McGrath and Paul Weaver picking up the wins in the 305s. The Fast 410 Speed Week feature. I was hoping you'd talk more so I can finish it. That was red flagged on lap 4 and postponed due to the rain. They didn't quite beat it, but almost.
Almost.
So, and then
the trucks will have.
Trucks were canceled. Are they going to reschedule those at all? Or?
Something is going to be rescheduled.
Okay.
Mr.
This is a tough year for promoters, isn't it, with the weather?
Boy, it has.
Angola Motorsport Speedway was rained out after the heat races on Saturday night. Flat Rock Speedway, they got, actually.
Nothing.
No, wasn't it on, didn't they do it on Sunday?
Yes.
I don't know why.
But there was no Saturday.
Yeah, so they pushed back to Sunday. That's what I thought. I still had Saturday written down here. Stan Yee Jr. picking up the Outlaw Super Late Model win. Greg Stude winning in the figure eights. Travis Early won the school bus figure eight feature. Kevin Stupinski won the boat race. And Mike Young won the second place race, which I'm not sure what that's all about.
And I don't know either.
So I reached out to Mike Young, and he's going to bring us pizza next week in the studio.
Ooh.
So we'll find out next week on that one.
So is this going to be a prerequisite?
To bring pizza? Sure.
If you want to be a guest, you better bring food.
Yeah.
That's it.
Butler Motor Speedway was rained out on Saturday. Waynesfield Raceway Park Sunday, night number 3 of the Fast 410 Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Very close finish there. Cale Thomas by 1/1000th of a second over Danny Dietrich.
Whereupon they crashed.
I didn't even see the finish. I did. Yeah. Okay. Well, good news for Danny. Spoiler alert. He did pick up a win. Was it last night?
Yeah.
Okay. Bryce Massengill won the USAC Midwest Thunder Midget feature, and Blaine Ridgely won the Ohio Race Saver Sprints. Eldora Speedway last week, the Big Dream Weekend. Fun stuff there. Ricky Thornton Jr. picking up a prelim win Thursday night. Devin Moran, Friday's prelim win. And then Saturday, Jonathan Davenport. It sounds like he kind of stunk up the show there, winning from flag to flag, and picked up the dream win. Kubota High Limit Racing Series at I-70 Speedway Friday. It was Corey Day. Saturday night, it was Rico Abreu picking up the win. Tuesday night, Eagle Raceway, Kyle Larson picking up the win. $55,555.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with just the $555. I'm easily pleased. World of Outlaw NASA Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Friday. It was Giovanni Selzy picking up the win at River City Speedway. Saturday at Ogilvie Raceway, it was Sheldon Hodenshield picking up the win. NASCAR action. Shane Van Gisbergen, second win in a row for him at Sonoma out there in California in the Xfinity Series.
Another road course, amazing.
Another road course, yes.
Amazingly.
Kyle Larson picking up the win on Sunday in the Cup Series out there at
And
Sonoma.
that was a fun race to watch because it was a battle of strategy.
It's windy outside.
A little breezy.
Yeah, a little bit. A little stormy. Yeah, it was a decent race, and I felt bad for... was it Blaney that ran out, I guess, or was it Truex?
Truex, yeah.
And he
had a really
did he eventually get across the line?
He did.
Okay, with the starter?
On the starter motor, yep.
Wow. NTT IndyCar Series action, Will Power picking up the win at Road America. And some other notes, the XR Super Series late models Monday at Kokomo. Devin Moran picking up the $15,000 win there. Ohio Sprint Speed Week, I can't eat and do the shows, it doesn't work. Ohio Sprint Speed Week winners Monday at Wayne County, Jordan Ryan picking up the win. Tuesday at Hilltop, it was Danny Sams. And last night, as mentioned at Sharon Speedway, Danny Dietrich picking up the win. A little bit of redemption from Sunday at Waynesfield. The Dirt Car UMP Summer Nationals kicked off last night at Peoria Speedway. They did last night.
Did they?
Yeah. Tyler Erb picking up the win there. Tonight has been canceled due to the weather, threat of severe storms. And Hammerdown Racing Army results. James Stamper finished third in the Compact A Main makeup feature at Oakshade. That was the makeup feature from June 1st. And then Karen Van Pelt at Palmyra finished third in the Box Stock Light feature.
Oh, cool.
And that was all I got reported. Again, if you're part of the Hammerdown Army or you want to be part of the Hammerdown Army, stop by hammerdownracingreport.com, click on the Hammerdown Army menu item there, and then at the very bottom of that page, you can submit your results. And if you're not part of the Army, just shoot us a picture of your car with one of these guys, the Hammerdown Racing Report logo sticker.
Or one of the special edition.
Or one of the those count too. John, I think, has that on his car.
Just like you.
And you'll be part of the Hammerdown Army. It's just that easy. We'll report on your results, assuming you give them to me. So, and that is it for tonight's Racing Roundup.
Yeah, there's also new stickers on the 15Y as well. Ron Miller race cars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, all right then. Should we give the Cogleys a call?
I would.
Yep.
Just out of the blue. Okay. We're gonna do that. We'll see if they're busy and can talk to us. Again, Brennan Sherman will be joining us later on this evening.
Scott, was it only me that noticed that the grand reopening of Millstream Speedway is on Flag Day?
Apparently.
Tomorrow is Flag Day.
And it used to be known as Flag City,
Raceway.
Motorsports Park.
You should know.
I should. That's where I got my start.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I knew tomorrow was Flag Day, but I did not make that connection.
Findlay is nicknamed the Flag City, so it's pretty cool that their grand reopening is indeed on Flag Day.
Well, even if we can't get a hold of the Cogleys here, we'll definitely talk about the big event tomorrow that everybody's looking forward to. And if they don't, we understand they're busy.
Hi there.
Hi, Beth. This is Scott, Ron, and John, actually, from Hammerdown Racing Report. Do you got a few minutes?
That's about it.
Okay. Are you busy getting ready for tomorrow?
Oh, my gosh. Everything's been kind of crazy today, but awesome. Everybody's been here helping out, lending a hand. all the little last minute things are getting taken care of. We are so excited for tomorrow night.
How did you plan it that your grand reopening is on Flag Day?
We lucked out on that, honestly, but because it means a lot to us to honor the veterans and the active duty military. We always have. Matt's dad was a vet. We have lots of good friends who are active duty. And so, yeah, we are very excited to be opening on Flag Day in Flag City, USA.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there? You guys have been working hard on that track since you took over last fall. Is there anything that you haven't gotten done that you would hope to have done by tomorrow night?
Oh, there are lots of things. I wish we'd had the grass on the hills already. Matt did such a beautiful job of tiering the hills and extending them. Boy, the seating is going to be amazing, but it's going to be dirt instead of grass. So, there are things like that we wish we'd gotten done, but but when we have them in August, things will be a little better, and things in October will be even a little better, and so we can improve every time. Well,
and it'll kind of give you a chance to see where you might need areas of improvement, I guess, and gives you plenty of time to work on that. But so what exactly is the schedule then for tomorrow? When do gates open? When hot laps and racing and all that?
Yeah, pit gates will open at 2:00. Main gates will open at 4. Hot laps will be at 6. Invocation and the national anthem will be at 7, with racing to follow.
And this will also be on Flow, I believe. I thought all the Ohio Sprint Speed Week shows were on Flow, but last night's was on Dirt Vision.
Last night was on Dirt Vision, yeah.
Actually, they're split this year, almost, obviously not quite half and half since it's 5 and 4, but there was a pretty historic agreement made between those two, and about half and half different tracks. So we will be on Dirt Vision.
Awesome. Okay. I did not know that. See, I did learn something here.
And Gary Lindahl will be the announcer?
I believe so, yes. Brian Lisky has also been announcing some of the fast races.
Brian Lisky. I'm sorry, yes.
Brian Lisky. And the B2 Midgets have an announcer as well. And so they're going to come up and do some of the program as well.
Awesome. Well, I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you too long, but are there any sponsors or any folks that you want to give a shout out to that help get this facility race ready for tomorrow?
I'm almost afraid to, because I don't want to miss anybody, but we certainly couldn't have done this without Ohio Logistics and Garner Trucking. Heitmeyer Concrete has been amazing as well. Brad's Body Shop, ADS Tile, Tim and Tommy's Bar in Findlay, Ohio. He's been pretty amazing for us as well. And I know I'm forgetting some. K&L Concrete, K&L Ready Mix is another big one. Who's been great help. So
are you more excited or are you more nervous about tomorrow?
I said it's been about 50-50, honestly. I do admit that about 9 o'clock last night, I was thinking to myself, that moment when you're on a roller coaster and the bar clicks down across your lap and you suddenly think to yourself, I don't want to do this anymore, but you don't have a choice. You're kind of locked in.
What have I gotten myself into?
That's exactly where I was at 9 o'clock last night. I've got past that. I'm excited, but at 9 o'clock I was like, oh no, what have we done?
So what's Matt working on right now?
Actually, I think he's working on dinner mostly, but lots of track prep still going on. We are running both our tracks, which is kind of an exciting thing. We weren't sure the smaller track was going to be ready, but the midgets will be able to christen the inside track at Millstream as well.
Oh, so they're not running on the full size track then? I did not realize that.
No, fast will run on the outside and midgets will run on the inside.
And that'll help with keeping the track fresh then too.
Yep.
Absolutely. It certainly can't hurt.
So how big? I mean, you guys have tore out the inside wall, so it's going to look totally different. How big is the inside track, the smaller track?
The old wall was right at 3/8, and this is basically that wall in a little bit. So we're calling it a small 3/8.
So it's still it's a still sizable track then. It's not like the little go-kart track.
And the big track is 7/16.
4/10 is what we're calling it. Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on who you're talking to today.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's going to win tomorrow?
Oh, I wish I knew. We have lots of racers that we've raced with coming in because, of course, Matt raced the 360s 2 years ago now, and so there's a lot of guys that we raced with that we would love to see on that podium.
That's gonna be. I saw that nobody can come in like tonight and save seats. It's going to be pretty much a first come first serve, so that those folks that are coming from far away have an equal shot to get some decent seating as people that are local, right?
Absolutely, and I know that's kind of a controversial decision. I know that marking your seats on the hills was an old time Millstream thing, but for a lot of reasons, and that's the biggest one, I think, to be fair to everybody. I'm sure we're going to have a pretty long line there at 4 o'clock, and they can go in right then and mark it.
Well, one thing I don't think you have to worry about that a lot of other tracks have had to worry about this year is the weather. The weather's looking
tomorrow is
pretty good
be
for you tomorrow.
Spectacular.
It does look spectacular. We're very, very excited.
I'm pretty excited about it, too. All right, Beth. Sorry to bother you here. Go do what you need to do. Get some rest before tomorrow. You're probably not going to get much sleep tonight, but definitely not. You can crash this weekend.
Absolutely. I did say, I probably shouldn't say this on the air. I did say, I know Saturday we're going to clean up and do that kind of thing. I said, Sunday I may not get out of bed.
That's acceptable. That's all right.
So, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for reaching out.
We'll see you, Beth. There you go. Bye. Beth Cogley, the one of the owners of Millstream Speedway, which is opening up tomorroh.
That's so exciting,
It
Scott.
is, and it sounds like they're doing it right. So I know that there's been attempts to get the track going that's kind of started and puttered out. But it sounds like this might be a long-term solution, I think.
And there's one thing that's different this time. So, and that's
different owner.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. When I started there in the 90s, they had the Paxtons that owned it.
Right.
And then they sold it. And then that owner's the one that's had it for the past 20-some years. A little more than that.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. I'm going to say, did they sell it in 99? I know it closed in 99.
Yeah.
Because that's when I went down to the track to announce on a Sunday, and nobody was there, and nobody told me that the guy that was leasing the track had split town. It's like, oh, I guess I'm done for the year. Okay, cool. And then I think it was 08 or 09, there was some kind of revival attempts there, and then the Hammers had a good run at it, not related to me, in, when was that? That was like 13, 14, 15, something like that, 14 and 15. Right. That was the last time that the track has run, so I'm looking forward to getting a race there.
Almost 10 years.
Well, yeah, you need your late model so you could they're doing the dirt trucks and stocks there. Yeah, the last show
I'll be there
in October. So they have a show with the GLSS guys. Actually, 2 shows with the GLSS guys. One in, I think it's the 25th of August. You can go to millstreamspeedway.com, and then there's the last show is going to be in October, which I think is like the first or second weekend, and that's going to be GLSS late models and trucks and stocks.
Right. Well, if somebody's got a spare late model engine around,
you'll just throw it in your car and go racing?
I could do double duty that day.
Can't you just take the motor out of your truck and go racing?
Yeah, but the dirt trucks are there too, so I'm...
Oh, well, there you go. Just swap the motor between the heats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you can do that real quick, right?
That'd work.
Was it Overton that did it down at the Dream?
Yeah, and got it done.
Yeah, he was fast, too. Anyway. So, this Millstream opening up tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I'm excited for it.
Monumental, Scott. It really is.
I hope it all goes well.
I have to take a road trip tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Coming up, we're going to talk to Brennan Sherman. He's already joined us in the green room there. We'll get to him in just a little bit. Got to mention DCR Graphics, your vinyl racing graphics provider. They do full wraps, partial wraps, number decals, sponsor decals of just about any kind. They did the tow trucks for us at one of the companies I work for. He did the decals on that. So he does a little better, not just race cars even. He's still working on those designs for the Hammer Down Dirt Track Racing video game that's coming out in November. $20. He'll design a virtual late model or modified for you. And he can model it after a car that exists, or He can, you can put your heads together and he can come up with a design for you. $20, all that costs. And you can drive that car once the game comes out this November. I think it's scheduled to come out right before Christmas. Check out DCR Graphics on Facebook at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. They are your local choice for wraps, and you can also order your official Hammer Down window stickers from DCR Graphics, just $5, and he'll even mail that to you, drop it off, whatever. He'll work it. Just give Dale a call, 419-308-9523. Totally not related to this, but I found out where we stand with as far as earnings since we joined the podcast or the Evergreen Podcast Network.
Okay. Is it exciting?
It was $1 more than what I paid you for stuff.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That was big ticket sale.
Only about 37 more to go before they'll actually cut us a check.
Well, that's okay.
So maybe something by this time next year we'll see a return on.
So
I said I can retire now.
There's that 4-figure threshold that we have to hit.
Sure, if you include the decimal point.
Absolutely.
Okay. Dominator Race Products has what you need to be in the winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Check out the plastic color matched late model rear spoilers. The ultimate body panels, the hood scoops, radiator fan shrouds, hood pins. It'd be neat if you made fans, plastic fans. Would those work, or would they not be a good thing?
There's some that work very well.
Well, there you go. Maybe there's his next venture.
There you go. And they're expensive, so.
Oh, well, then Dominator probably could outdo that.
I'm sure.
Order direct from DominatorRaceProducts.com. They don't do fans that I know of yet. Maybe in the future, but everything else he's got there. Just check out DominatorRaceProducts.com. Give him a call, 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products also available from your local reputable race shop. Victory Fuel is that refreshing and natural hydration. Oh, spoiler alert. He sent me something. We have the name of the grape flavor that's coming out. You have to wait to the end of the commercial.
Yep.
Victory Fuel is a refreshing and natural hydration alternative that replenishes electrolytes and is packed with vitamins, providing a boost for athletes and individuals on the go. And old guys that talk about racing on a podcast, Victory Fuel is the perfect way to stay hydrated and energized throughout the race day, being free of added coloring, caffeine, and carbonation. Basically, it's not bad for you like most drinks are.
Right.
It's actually got some good stuff in it for you. It's a great kid-friendly drink. You can get yours today online at drinkvictory.com. Be sure to use discount code DOMINATION or Conley Racing. That's one word, and you'll save 10%. You also help fuel their racing programs. And it's also available in some stores. It's available at Speedway or Speedweek races. It's available at
So if somebody orders
tracks.
it at drinkvictory.com, does it come FedEx or UPS?
I'm assuming, it'll be delivered somehow.
Okay.
I don't think that Tanya's going to deliver everybody's. But the new flavor that's coming around the end of July
is grape.
It is grape, but the name of it is Purple Potion.
Ooh.
So that's what they went with.
Kind of like Lucky Lemon and...
If you check out the Victory Fuel Facebook page, I believe that's where they posted the picture of the can. Didn't have a top on it or anything, so hopefully it should be out by the end of July.
Yep.
All right.
Till then, we'll have to settle with Throttle Punch and your, what was it?
Lucky Lemon.
Lucky Lemon.
There you go.
Still liking Lucky Lemon, Scott.
Okay. Got some racing news to get to before we speak with Brennan here. Let's get that.
Latest racing news.
The 2025 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Speed Week is set. That is coming up at the beginning of next year. 12 nights of racing at 3 venues in Georgia and Florida. The action will get underway with a $7,000 to win program at Golden Isles on Wednesday, January 15th. Pretty soon they're going to be starting like on January 1st.
Yeah.
That's the January 15th shows, followed by a $10,000 to win event on Thursday. The 16th, teams will compete for $12,000 to win on January 17th. And Saturday's finale will boast a $25,000 to win purse. From there, the tour will head south to Alltech Raceway with 3 straight nights of racing from Thursday, January 30th through Saturday, February 1st. Those events will pay $10,000, $12,000, and $15,000 to win, respectively. Speed Weeks will wrap up at the Ocala Speedway in Ocala, Florida, with 5 nights of racing. Tuesday and Wednesday, teams will compete for $7,000 to win. Drivers will be gunning for the $10,000 and a top prize on Thursday, and $12,000 on Friday, February 7th. As an end to the week, a record-setting amount for Ocala Speedway, $25,000 to win, is on the line. So, a lot of big paying shows early in the season there. So, some news that Scott Bloomquist was competing in the Dream this year. He's been having some health issues, a motorcycle accident, hurt, and other things. But he walked away from a nasty wreck at Eldora during his heat race on Saturday. Happened after contact with Shannon Babb, and it kind of went a little like this.
Babb has got a fast high rod, just trying to keep it under control. Meanwhile, it's a 3-car length lead up front as we see the double box here. As Bloomquist into the wall, and Bloomquist on his lid into turn 3.
Just got word from track officials that Scott Bloomquist is moving around inside the zero. Ladies and gentlemen, that is good news. Making his way. There he is. He's waving to you, ladies and gentlemen. How about it, Scott Bloomquist? Here's a look at what happened to the zero of Scott Bloomquist.
Well, they come out of 2 down the back straightaway, and there.
Yeah, he came up. I think he thought he maybe had Shannon Babb cleared, and Babb was kind of driving off the corner.
Right.
Bloomquist was coming up the racetrack, coming off the corner, and just a point of contact for those 2 drivers. And I'm telling you, there is no, as Randy Weaver mentioned, there is no video in the entire world that can do justice as to how hard that impact actually is. That's a big hit to the self-esteem and the morale as well. And it doesn't matter if it's Scott Bloomquist or a guy that works a 9-to-5 job and races for fun about once a week. That is a tough.
Double hooker. Those are never good.
No. And it kind of looked like a racing. I don't pin a blame on anybody in particular. I think they both kind of were moving, and they were trying to occupy the same point in the racetrack, and it doesn't work. No, especially for the car that's slightly ahead.
Looks like Scott just chopped off his nose, and like they said, Babb was coming down off the turn there, and it was just wrong place, wrong time for both of them.
More bad luck for Bloomquist, though. In an unrelated incident, he was hospitalized shortly after midnight on Wednesday for an allergic reaction from an apparent wasp sting while washing his race car transporter outside his race shop late Tuesday night. The 60-year-old Hall of Famer was in stable condition Wednesday at Tennessee's Morristown Hamblin Health Care System, emphasizing that, quote, everything is going to be fine, unquote.
Yeah. Tough week.
Tough week for him,
Tough week.
Angelique Bell also having a tough week. She was injured in a fiery crash at Southern Oregon Speedway Wednesday night, last night, as a matter of fact. Did you see anything about this?
I saw that she was hurt. I no details.
It was NARC 410, the NARC 410 Sprint Feature race action. She was transported to Rogue Valley Hospital with burns and breathing difficulties. According to a post by NARC's Jim Allen, Bell suffered burns on her face, back, and legs. She was intubated as a protection to protect her airway in the event of respiratory burns. The race was called complete with 13 laps. That's when the incident happened. Because it was determined that the safety crews had exhausted the majority of their firefighting supplies.
Wow.
So, crazy night last night. And finally, NTT IndyCar officials announced on Thursday a new television package for 2025. In addition, a 17-race schedule was released. I don't have details on the schedule, but the season will conclude on August 31st, Labor Day weekend, 2025. All the races, including the Indianapolis 500, which has been on NBC for the past
100 years.
No, it was on ABC for like 100 years, and then NBC took over maybe 15, 20 years ago. It will now be broadcast live on Fox, all of the races live on Fox and available on the Fox Sports app. So Fox will have both the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500 next year.
What about the Coke 600 then?
They'll probably still have that too.
Now, will Fox split the season with?
It'll be interesting though if there's a rain delay. What happens?
Will Fox split the season?
Next season
on the Cup Series side.
Yeah, remember we had that story where Amazon, TNT. There's like a bunch of different.
Peacock, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a bunch of different.
Yeah.
Next year, you're going to have to pay attention to find where your NASCAR races are, right, John?
Yeah, I think they said like 4 of them are supposed to be on Peacock, I think, next year.
Yeah. I listened to another podcast, and they're talking about baseball and how they just give up watching baseball because one game will be on Roku, one game will be on another streaming thing. And like you have to pay for all these streaming
Detroit Tigers are on Bally Sports
that
virtually
too.
all the time.
Well,
That's
too.
it.
But there's a couple of the games that aren't. Actually, that's who they were talking about. But you'd have to pay for all these different streaming apps.
Right.
You know, maybe to see one game, or you're going to miss that game. I don't know. It seems like there's got to be a better idea. But whatever. It's all about money. And that's what it comes down to, unfortunately. NASCAR is going to make the money off. And I know they're having issues with trying to restructure their charter deal. And I guess I read something the other day where the NASCAR charters aren't very pleased with NASCAR's latest offering, which I don't know what the details were. But so it sounds like there's some issues there.
I wonder if Tony Stewart had some insight as to what was coming down the pike.
As to why he closed up shop with Stewart
yes,
Haas.
sir.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Or even Kevin, because Kevin Harvick retired the year before.
Right.
And now this year, they're going, they announced that, Stewart Haas is closing his doors forever on the Cup side.
Well, we got Brennan Sherman waiting for us here. Let's pay a couple bills, and we'll bring him right on. Dittman Motorsports, the official Hoosier Racing tire dealer for Northwest Ohio. If you need any kind of race car service, body work, parts, whatever, you can call him today at 419-283-8580. He's got a parts truck at Fremont and at Oakshade, I do believe. So probably can call, order a part, and have it brought out to the track.
If you call ahead of time, sure.
That's what I'm saying. The entire month of June, Magic Moment Entertainment Wedding DJ Service will take $100 off the normal price when you book a wedding reception and mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. So Ron and I don't have to win this month for you to save $100. Just have to mention the Hammer
Down Racing Report
when you call Magic Moment Entertainment to book that wedding reception. Magic Moment is a national award-winning DJ service that's been in business for over 30 years. If your ceremony is in the same venue as your reception, there's no additional charge to play ceremony music. Ron works with contracts, carries liability insurance. There's no charge for mileage or dance floor lighting. That's all included. Everything's one price. Out the door pricing.
And I think he's booking into 2026 already.
This year, next year, and 2026. He covers the entire states of Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. Give him a call, 419-594-2261, or visit Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. You can find either one of those on Facebook. That's both Ron Burt. He runs both of those. And don't forget to mention Hammer Down Racing Report. Save $100 off that wedding reception, or I'm assuming it's probably for other DJ things too. It probably doesn't have to be a wedding. I'm spitballing there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring Brennan in here. Hey, Brennan Sherman, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, congratulations on the big win Friday night there at Limaland.
Thank you.
How did you think it would? Wait, let me ask you this first. That was only your 20th race in a modified? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, so I started last year. I mean, I did a couple starting parks, like in 2017. He let me go out, make a couple laps. But as far as actually racing, that was my 20th start. I did 17 races last year, and then this was my third race this year.
So did you think you'd get that first win that quick, or did it take longer than you thought it would take? What was the thinking there?
When I started, I really didn't know what to expect because I've seen some guys try to start racing, especially in modifieds, because it's a top level class, and they really struggle for a while before they start to get some traction. And so I wasn't sure, but when last year I was able to qualify decently, but I struggled sometimes in racing situations, being able to get as fast lap times. So when I knew I was able to go fast enough to, be competitive, but I knew I needed to get better in traffic and racing with other cars. But I was fortunate that I was able to start on the pole of the heat and the feature, so I didn't really have to pass anybody. So, I mean, I knew it was possible, but, I probably got a little lucky being able to start up front. I'd like to be able to maybe win one this year where I don't start up front, just to prove to myself that I can do it. But so I was a little surprised it came this soon. The week before the race, my little brother, he's pretty critical of me. He's kind of like, kind of down on me sometimes, but he said, I think you could win one this year. So when he told me that, it kind of gave me a little extra confidence, because usually he's not real supportive or encouraging like that.
How old is he?
He's 27, or he just turned 28.
Okay. Oh, so he's not. I was thinking it was like a little 12-year-old or something.
No, I'm 29 and he's 28, so he's not that much younger than me.
Gotcha. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it took me 10 years before I got my first win. And I did start on the front row for that, and I don't care that I started on the front row.
Yeah, it don't matter where you start; it's where you finish. Is what they
There,
say.
exactly. So give us a little background on your racing career as to how you got into modifieds. Did you run go-karts or anything growing up, or did you just jump into modified and go racing?
I did go-karts in 2002 to 2004. We maybe did 15 races in 3 years. I mean, we didn't do them a lot. Me and my brother ran cage karts at State Line Speedway, and then I always wanted to get into a car, but I couldn't really afford to do it on my own, and my dad's was pretty good, so he really wasn't ready to get out of the seat yet. And so I worked for him at our business, Sherman Enterprises, for 7 years, and I thought, go work at the race car shop, I'll get a race, and, it didn't happen. And finally I'm like, hey, the only reason I really worked here is I thought maybe I could start racing eventually. And he's like, okay, I'll let you race this year. And I'm like, wow, I should have asked sooner.
That was easy.
So, anyway, so I put in a lot of hard work at the shop, going racing all the time, trying to grow our business, sell more parts, get the race cars faster. I did a lot of research and, trying to learn about setup and help my dad make our cars faster so he could win. And then I was fortunate enough that we've got the cars pretty good. So when I did start, I was getting into a top level car. So the last, year and a half, I've mainly been able to focus on improving my driving.
So you've made your dad faster? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, you can ask him. He'll admit it.
Your dad, Todd Sherman, of course. Just making sure. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue.
No, that's okay. So I think being able to get into a car that, he raced that car for 3 seasons, which the first season was COVID, so he didn't race it a lot. But then the 2 seasons after that, he probably won 25 races with that car. So I knew when I got into that car that I don't need to be, turning the jack bolts or putting different shocks on my car or, making a bunch of wholesale changes. I think that's one thing that, being in the racing business, talking with a lot of racers and hearing some of their struggles, a lot of people they need to leave their car alone sometimes, because you can get into trouble trying to make your car better when really it's the driver that's the issue. And I knew last year that I had the car that could win, so I just needed to work on improving my driving. And so it really maybe expedited the process of learning, because I was focused on what I was doing, not monkeying with the car all the time.
Gotcha. I just got a text from Jerry Keyser from Limaland. A big event going on tomorrow. the 2040 to win Dirt Car UMP Modified A Main for the Modified Mayhem tribute to Terry Hall. That before I get to what he texts me, how big of a win would that be for you if you could get that as your second win?
That would be really cool. Terry Hall was a good friend of our family, and my dad raced with him a lot, and his crew chief, when they quit racing, started helping us. They only lived 10 miles from where we lived, and he's a really good guy. And my dad talked with Stephanie at Limaland in the off season, said, hey, we really need to do a memorial race for Terry because he passed away with cancer last year. And so we put out on Facebook, like, hey, we're going to have a race for Terry. Would anybody like to donate lap money? We want to get $40 a lap, to go towards increasing the purse for this race. Well, then people are like, well, I want to sponsor the purse. So, we kind of put it out there on social media and kind of facilitated a little bit, but there was a lot of people have donated for lap money and sponsoring the race. And so I think right now around $14,000 added to what the normal purse would be from the track for the race tomorrow. So
that's awesome.
It's all just people that knew Terry, that his family, his friends, co-workers, bosses. There was Oakshade Speedway Wreckers sent us money. Some of the officials at Limaland. Some people that didn't even know him that just wanted to support the race. So it's really cool. I kind of facilitated a little bit, but it wasn't me. It was everybody else's generosity and donating their hard-earned money towards the race. So as long as we get 45 cars tomorrow, we're going to run 2 features. We've got lap money for both races. And then got a text from Percy Gendrew.
Oh, you're taking my news.
So he's adding.
Here, this is breaking news. We gotta play the sounder. All right, go ahead. I'll let
breaking
you.
News, Percy Gendrew and Bathmasters, CSA, Connected Strategy Advisors, and one unnamed sponsor that he didn't tell me who it was. They've raised a total of $2,000 to add to the non-qualifiers feature to increase the payout from a normal. The second non-qualifiers feature was going to be a normal payout, so now it's an extra $2,000 being put through the field. So if you don't make the big race, you could still have a good payday. So come to Limaland tomorrow night for the Terry Hall tribute to Terry Hall Modified Mayhem at Limaland.
1150 is going to go to the winner of that non-qualifier feature, and 160 to start. So that's how they're spreading that through the field. So that's pretty good.
And anybody that knew Terry Hall knew he was a class act. So this tribute is extra special.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So you also ran Monday down at Kokomo. You had a pretty decent run there. Started near the back and got up top 5, didn't you?
Yeah, so I put on my Facebook page, I said I had my backup beeper on in the heat race. So in the heat race, I did not do very good. I was like, wow, I went from winning the race to going straight to the back in the heat. And I was like, racing is very humbling. But I started dead last in the feature. And, I didn't pass 5th. I went up to 5th. I didn't pass 15 cars. I passed probably 7 or 8, and then 6 or 7 cars pulled off or spun out, or there was a 3-car pile up at the end. So I just kind of ran the bottom, missed some wrecks, and kept my nose clean. And by the end of the race, I was in 5th place. So I was pretty happy because there was a pretty stout field of cars there for that XR ONUM Modified deal, I guess.
Was your dad racing in that race?
Yeah, he was one of the cars that fell out. He was was in 8th, and I was in 9th, and he was still on. Somebody said, "You've never passed your dad." I said, "Well, under green." I said, "Well, I passed him." Well, he was in the infield. I said, "No, he was still on the track. He was going towards the infield." But
there you go. So speaking of that, your dad is leading the points at Limaland, and you're 4th, but you're only 18 back because there's only been 2 races so far this year. What would it mean to beat him and win the championship?
Well, if I won the championship, I would be very surprised because he's very consistent and he always runs up front, and he doesn't normally have any DNFs. So he would have to have some bad luck, and I'd have to have a lot of good luck. So if I could get a top 5 in the points, they think that would be happy. But I mean, if I won the championship, that would be really cool, just because my dad's won it so many times, and that that's kind of probably an unrealistic goal, but it would be cool if it happened. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not very likely, I don't think.
Like the passing of the torch.
So what is your main focus for this year? Is it the championship there at Limaland, or?
I just want to get better at racing in traffic and being able to pass cars. I just want to be a better racer by the end of the year, better than I was at the beginning of the year. I've been, thinking about, what kind of studying some of the better racers and, how they pass cars and how they start races. And I just got to work on that and get more comfortable in the car. I mean, it's easier to, like, when you don't have to worry about other cars when you start on the pole, because you can go where you want. You can hit the gas when you want, hit the brake when you want. You can do whatever you want, and you're not worried about what the other cars are doing in front of you. Like, sometimes it's easy to get distracted in the race car and lose your focus and make a mistake. I mean, sometimes when I get my face full of mud, I grab my tear off and it doesn't come off, and so I'm trying to grab it going into the corner, and then I end up 2 lanes higher going into the corner than I wanted. So
It happened to me Saturday. That's a normal occurrence.
yeah, so it's guys that have been doing it a long time. It's just second nature for them to be able to drive the car, and being relatively new to racing, or to driving, I should say. I just gotta get more seat time and more practice so that it can be more second nature for me. And so I guess that's my goal, is just to be better racer in traffic and be able to pass cars and do what my dad's done for years. So I've watched him do. If I could be as good as him, that would be a really good accomplishment. But
I was going to say, I'm assuming you've learned quite a bit from your dad then.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been to probably 90% of his races my whole life, if not higher than that. So I've seen him win hundreds of races, and I've seen him lose hundreds of races, but he's won a lot of races over the years. I mean, he's probably got 300 feature wins, I'd say, by now. So
yeah,
he's definitely he's one of the better people at racing and traffic and passing cars. There's when I was a kid, I don't want to sound like one of those people, but when I was a kid, they did pill draw, so the fast guys weren't on the front 2 rows every single night in the heat race. There was a lot of nights where he had to go to start in the back and get to the front. And I think today a lot of the racers are soft because they get really upset if they aren't qualifying, because they don't want to have to pass cars. And I, as a fan, it's way better to see guys have to pass cars and earn the wins than, like.
Yeah, I agree with him there. Nobody.
Yeah.
I take that unpopular opinion as well. I agree with. I'm with you.
I don't usually have like a platform to put out my opinions on racing, and I got a lot of them. But one of my opinions is, like 2 years ago, Nick Hoffman won 19 of 20 on the Hell Tour, and he probably didn't pass 3 cars like in 20 races, including heat races, because they started him straight up. He would draw one or two, start on the front row, and he's obviously an extremely good racer, extremely good car, but does anybody really want to watch the same guy win every single race without having to pass a car? And I get it, they're running night after night after night, and if he has to pass cars, he might get tore up and have to fix it. But I don't think in modifieds, which is supposed to be, it was originally an entry-level class, and, our tires say E-Mod, which stands for Economy Modified, and the only thing economy right now is the payout, but I just rather see passing. So
no, and it's totally 2 different schools of perspective there. I mean, the driver's perspective for the most part is I want to start in front of the slower cars, and from a fan perspective, you want to see the passing and the racing. You want to see the driver earn that win.
That's it.
But so what else do you have on your schedule for this year? Any other events like Kokomo, or are you just sticking at Limaland?
Yeah, so we'll hit up Kokomo on the July 3rd, Labor Day, and then all the races at Limaland. I don't know how many races I'll do, but there's one week where the Hell Tour's in Michigan and some in Indiana, and we're planning on going to Crystal, Michigan on that Friday for the Hell Tour race. My dad, he used to go up there for the Dealer's Choice race, which probably most people nowadays don't even know what the Dealer's Choice is. But
I do.
Ron does.
so that was like a race. I was kind of thinking about this last year where like Flow Racing is like the big media company for racing now, like, that, and they're able to put on big races. Well, the Dealer's Choice was put on by the Mark Times newspaper, and the Mark Times newspaper was the medium for people to see who won what races. When I was a kid, I sold Mark Times at Montpelier. They would print out pages with pictures of the feature winners at all the tracks, and they'd have articles and stuff, and they'd basically spend the whole year promoting their end of the year big race that they'd hold in September, usually the last weekend. And my dad won several of the Dealer's Choice races where there'd be over like 100 cars there, and it was, a lot of them were at Crystal. So I went there when I was real little. I don't really remember it that well, but I've heard lots of stories about it and watched old VHS tapes of him racing there. So I think it's pretty cool to get a go race there. They don't normally have UMP races at Crystal, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's IMCA country.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So you mentioned Montpelier, and I know that that's kind of been radio silent since the end of last year. Have you heard anything about Montpelier? If there's anything going on there, or any rumblings?
Right now, I know Harold is probably looking for someone to run the track for him. He's had a few different promoters in there, but I don't think his health is there where he can kind of do all the jobs that are required to run the track. And I know he'd like to see it open. Me and another racer were in talks with Harold about maybe leasing the track this year, and we just weren't able to make it work, but we really wanted to do it. But I was thinking about it, and it's like, man, I think I could, race this year and win a race, and I want to give myself a chance to win a race. And, actually it happened. So I'm kind of glad that because I was thinking about not racing anymore and just trying to do promoting, but I'm glad. I mean, I hope someone gets the track and reopens it.
It was a fun little track.
That was basically our two tracks over the years that we always went to was Limaland on Friday and Montpelier's on Saturday. So I've been to both of those tracks, more times than I could count to watch races. So it's kind of disappointing to see it not be open, but I'm hopeful that the right person will come along and be able to reopen the track and keep it going. So
do you have any long-term goals in racing? I mean, do you see yourself down the road maybe moving to a late model or a sprint car, or modified, just where you want to be? You're just doing it for fun. Or promotion,
no,
yeah.
I think I'd like to race for a few years, but probably just locally and just more of hobbyist racing, not really traveling a lot, because it's a lot of time and a lot of work, and I don't think I'm willing to put in the amount of work that my dad has to race 40 nights a year for the last 20 years. I mean, I don't know how he's able to stay as motivated as he is to keep the cars going and race as much as he has. I mean, he puts in a lot of work for a long time to be able to race as much as he has. So I don't think I want to race as much as he did, just because of the time commitment and the sacrifices you have to make to do that. But I like doing it, just Friday night, Saturday night, local tracks and having fun. But it's too much money and work to try to do it at that level, I think, for me.
Gotcha. Any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for helping you out?
Yeah, so when I won my race, I didn't really mention any of my pit crew, so I'll mention my pit crew and then my sponsors. But my dad works on the car a lot for me, and I do a little bit. And Zach McKenzie helps me; he does all my tires. Keith helps out too; he works at our shop. And then Dave and Kevin come and they help at the shop and go to the track. And Rick Zock, which was Terry Hall's crew chief, he'll come in and help on the cars and go to the track with us sometimes too. He's really good help. He's super smart when it comes to like carburetors and transmissions and engines. So that's my people that have been helping me on the car. For sponsors, we have Sherman Enterprises, which is our business. We build modifieds and we sell parts. And then we have a restaurant we bought. So the restaurant's helped out with the racing, Half Acre Cafe. I'm a part owner with my mom and dad and my wife in the restaurant. And then we got racefastener.com. We sell rivets and stuff on our website there for our business. And Vision Homes, Vision Woodworks, Pro Strip, powder coating, ZAMP safety equipment. Who else? All Star Performance. That's about it, I think, that I can
All
think
right.
of. If I forgot you, sorry.
Well, tomorrow night, usually our guests go on to win, or actually that was a trend probably the first 4 years we were doing the show, that the guests would go on and
we
win
need to
their
revive
their next event. It's been a little slower the past last couple years, but we're hoping tomorrow night you can get that win and get our streak going once again. So can you get that done, win the Terry Hall Memorial?
I'll try my best. It's going to take, with the car count, there's probably going to be 50 cars or more. So I'm going to have a little luck like I did last week. But we did go with, normally you don't get a lot of seat time in between races or whatever, but we were able to race Monday. And then we went and tested last night, and I got laps in like 3 different cars besides my own. So I'm feeling pretty good. We got some reps in, I guess you could say, and some practice. So if I have some good luck and do what I need to do, I think I could have a chance, but it's definitely going to be hard with the level of competition there. So,
well, maybe you'll get to pass a few cars tomorrow.
I would like to get a hard charger. So shout out to Screamin' Zero Race Cars and Brent Hull. He sponsored Hard Charger for $300 tomorrow. So
there you go.
Another reason to come to Limaland.
There you go. Brennan, congratulations again, getting that first career win last weekend, and make it 2 in a row this weekend.
That'll be awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yep, appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Have a good one.
We'll see you. There you go. Brennan Sherman, the UMP Modified, second generation UMP Modified racer. They're picking up his first career win, 20th real start at Limaland.
That's pretty impressive.
Definitely. And hopefully he can do our name well and pick up the win tomorrow night.
And Jerry Keyser will be there to
witness it, yeah.
Right.
We'll have to have Jerry on next week, too.
And Jerry knows.
Yes, the beard of knowledge.
The beard of yes. We do have we're going to give away the Big D's Pizza here with How Many in just a moment. Before we do that, though, we do have one call for our Hammer Down Hotline, which actually kind of ties into what I'm working on for next week. So we'll just we'll play this for you. Here you go.
Hammer Down Hotline.
Hi, I just want to mention the super late model race that's going to be at Owasso on this coming up Wednesday. $20,000 to win. These are the super late models. $10,000 for second, and the admission price, believe it or not, is only $14. If you're 20 and under, is free. Anybody who wants, it's just outside of Lansing. It's probably well worth the 2-hour drive to get there. This place is absolutely amazing. And if you don't happen to have the time to go there, please check them out on Facebook or check them out on the website. This guy has made a lot of improvement, and to see a super late model show, outlaw super late model show without for $14 and $20,000 to win is a really good deal in the area.
Yeah. I see a comment from Brian. Hey, I think we're coming back.
Yep, there we are.
Oh, there we go.
All right, I think we're back. Can you? Oh no, yeah. Can you hear us now on Facebook? For some reason, I think we had a blip in the network, in the matrix, just as I was trying to look up Owasso Speedway, because I thought that show was this weekend. Yeah, it looks like our internet's back. I think our internet went down temporarily, but I think we're back. Okay, Josh can hear us, so yeah. Yep. We're back. Sorry about that.
Not long after we heard that thunder off in the
distance.
Right.
I think it's the first time our internet's popped off here. Maybe? I don't know. But as our caller on the Hammer Down Hotline was mentioning that show at Owasso Speedway, and of course it's not going to work for me. I thought that was this weekend. But Rex Wheeler, I believe the guy's name up there, has been putting in a lot of improvements. We're going to try and get him on the show next week. I've reached out to him, yeah. And it's an ongoing thing, too. I mean, he's been doing all these changes, and it continues. So you had swirly screens. Yes, we did have swirly screens. That's what we saw, too. We need Spectrum Internet. Well, before we lose the internet again, I guess we'll continue on here. But that Owasso Speedway, check out owassospeedway.com. You can get more information on that event that our caller was talking about. And if you want to leave a message, call the Hammer Down Hotline, text it, whatever. There you go, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night. And now it's time to give away some pizza.
How many?
All right. So last week's how many was how many Fast 410s were going to be at Attica, plus how many Fast 410s were going to be at Fremont, plus how many were going to be at Waynesfield.
Big number.
53 at Attica, 55 at Fremont, 42 at Waynesfield. So that is a number of 150.
Yes.
Yeah, you said
128.
And yes, you did. I said 107. So congratulations, Ron.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you win Big D's Pizza. It's right there for you.
Yep.
Our listener winner actually came to us on Yahoo, and all I have is his Yahoo name, Kurt9. Nine. Kurt, and then the number 9.
Oh, okay.
So if you can verify
who you are,
Kurt9. So I asked when you enter on Yahoo to have a username that actually has a name that we can match up to something. That would make things a lot easier. Because if I tell Dean, Kurt91, how is he going to...
Everybody's going to be Kurt9.
I'm Kurt9.
Yeah, I'm Kurt9.
Yeah, there you go. So Kurt9 guessed 136. That was the closest there. This week, to win a Big D's Pizza, we're talking with Beth Cogley, one of the owners of Millstream Speedway earlier. Tomorrow night, big grand reopening with the Fast 410s, part of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. How many Fast 410s are we going to have tomorrow night at Millstream?
And that's going to be a tricky one, Scott, because we've had high of 55 to this point. But it's Millstream, and a lot of people want to be part of it. It could be a giant number.
It could be. I think there's a lot of nostalgia there that Millstream's coming back. I don't know if...
And it is a Friday night, so...
Is there any other... I mean, and Attica's off. Fremont's off this weekend because of the Ohio Sprint Speedway. I don't know if there's any other competing things close. World of Outlaws is in Knoxville, and there's no high limit races. So I don't know. What do you think, Ron? I've stalled long enough for you.
I'm thinking 57.
57. So you're the highest car.
Yeah,
that would be the highest.
That would be the highest car count
of this year's Ohio Speedway. All right, 57
on Flag Day.
Yes, definitely Flag Day.
And the weather's going to be spectacular, so nobody's going to be staying home thinking, "Oh, it's going to rain."
That's Kurt Inks, number 9, Fremont. Kurt Inks.
Okay.
I remember Kurt Inks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt.
Kurt Inks. Congratulations, Kurt Inks. Used to run a stock at Oakshade, didn't he?
I don't know.
Name's very familiar to me. John, do you have a guess for tomorrow night?
I'm going to say 52.
52? Well, I'm going to go right in the middle then and say 55. That's my guess. I'm taking your guess from last week, Ron.
Okay.
Or close to it, I guess. Actually, I guess that's not your guess.
Kurt9, get your guess in there, buddy.
So put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live, and you will be entered to win a free pizza from Big D's Pizza out there in Clyde. as we're enjoying that here this evening, although I've kind of given up on trying to enjoy it and talk because it doesn't work. Yeah. Luckily, I did have quite a bit before we started, so that helped. We'll give you till 4. No, wait, gates open at 2. Well, maybe we should wrap that up at 2 then. We'll give you till 2 o'clock to get your guess in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, even when it's not live. If you're listening to us on the podcast tomorrow morning, which would be your Friday morning, it'd be good morning to you if you're listening to us on Friday morning.
Yeah.
Just head on over to our Facebook page or the YouTube page and find the live broadcast from Thursday night. Put your guess in there. As long as it's before 2 o'clock, you will be entered to win. And some people have figured out that, and I don't know if we should black flag this or we should let it go, that if they guess one number on Facebook and then one number on YouTube, they get 2 guesses. What do you think? Should we nip that in the bud or should we let that go because they're innovative and they're thinking outside the box?
We didn't.
It's not specifically in the rules, so
we didn't say anything before we started tonight, so
or at any point.
Maybe next week.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe next week.
Okay.
We'll discuss it
We'll have a rules meeting.
In a rules meeting, yeah.
So as of right now, that that loophole is wide open for you. So there you go. Got some racing to check out this weekend. Let's check out our Big D's Pizza racing menu.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza racing menu.
So as we mentioned and have been mentioning, Millstream Speedway, night number 8 of Ohio Sprint Speed Week with the Fast 410s and the USAC Thunder Midgets. Gates open at 2 as Beth had said. I originally had 4 o'clock here, so I'm glad we talked to Beth.
Yeah.
2 o'clock for the gates. That may be the pits, though. Double check the...
Yeah, but that'd be a...
Yeah.
Yeah, she said 4 o'clock when the pits open. Or
2,
yeah,
when
2,
the pits...
I mean, when the gates open for grandstands.
At 2?
At 4.
At 4, okay.
It's going to be packed. You can't
get there early.
You can't get there too early.
Yes, there you go. Racing will start at 7. General admission $25. And news to me was that they're going to be running the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets on the smaller track, which is actually a pretty decent sized track because it's on the inside where
the wall used
to was. Yes, where used to was.
Used to was.
And wow, that's going to look so different.
It is.
Limaland also in action tomorrow night. Modified Mayhem tribute to Terry Hall. That big UMP Modified show. A lot of money on the line for that, for not just the feature, but for the non-qualifier feature too, with the UMP Modifieds. Thunderstocks Dirt Track Truck Series also in action. Gates open at 5. Racing at 7:30. $12 general admission at Limaland Motorsports Park. Lorraine Raceway Park back in action with the Super Crown Nationals, MSS Super Modifieds, TQ Midgets, and Super Sprints. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:30. General admission is $20 as part of a 2-night show at Lorraine Raceway Park. Because then Saturday night, back in action with more Super Crown Nationals action with Modifieds, MSS Super Modifieds, and the TQ Midgets. Gates open at 2 on Saturday, racing at 6. General admission is $25 on Saturday there at Lorraine Raceway Park. Flat Rock Speedway, it's the Steve Martin Memorial Big Number 1 Auto Sales Kids Night, featuring MCR, Dwarf Cars, Street Stocks, Outlaw Super Late Models. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 7. General admission $15 there at Flat Rock Speedway. Sandusky Speedway, they've been off for a couple weeks because they got that movie that's been shooting right in the street in front and into the entrance there of the parking lot. Right. They're back in action with the $1 admission night. Pure Stocks, Renegades, Beginner Stocks, All-American Iron. That's Saturday night. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission, as I mentioned, $1. Angola Motorsports Speedway. It's a Fab 4 show with the late models, modified street stocks, front-wheel drives. Gates open at 3, racing at 7. General admission over there in Indiana at Angola is $15. Oakshade Raceway, full show, plus double features for late models and the Dominator Super Stocks. Full show, of course, being late models, DCR Graphic Sportsman, Dominator Super Stocks, and Compacts. We had 50-some Compacts last week.
That was crazy.
That was super crazy.
Yeah, like 3 of them flipped, too.
Yeah, there were so many. They were like sprint cars. They're flipping like sprint cars. It was crazy. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:30 at Oakshade. General admission $15 there. Waynesfield Raceway Park in action Saturday night as well. It's Dad's Delight with the UMP Modifieds, Compacts, Dirt Track Truck Series. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30 as well. General admission $10 at Waynesfield. And finally, Butler Motor Speedway. It's the Great Lakes Super Sprints, 410 Sprints, Street Stocks, and 4 cylinders. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:30. General admission $20 there at Butler Motor Speedway. What's the weekend weather, pit stop weather looking like?
Scott,
Mr.
the only
Rainy
bad
Ron?
weather we're going to see is happening right now. So if you wake up tomorrow morning and want to go to a race, do it, because it's going to be spectacular all weekend.
Except Sunday it gets hot.
Next week it gets hot. All week. Hot.
Good to know. Other series action this weekend and into next week. The 42nd annual Ohio Sprint Speed Week continues on tonight at Muskegon County Speedway in Dresden. Tomorrow night, as we mentioned, Millstream, and then Saturday night wrapping up at Atomic Speedway in Waverly, Ohio. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series in action at Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Mountain Moonshine Classic. That's going to be both Friday and Saturday, June 14th and 15th. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series is the premier Chevy dealers clash at Knoxville Raceway in Iowa. That'll be Friday and Saturday. Then it's on to the Huset's High Banks. The Huset's High Banks Hustle, that is, at Huset Speedway in Brandon, South Dakota. That'll be Wednesday of next week, June 19th, through Saturday, the 22nd. Arca Menard Series Atlas 150 at Iowa Speedway Friday at 8 p.m. That'll be on FS1. The Xfinity Series, NASCAR Xfinity Series, will be running the Hy-Vee Perks 250 at Iowa Speedway. That'll be Saturday, 3:30 on USA Network. NASCAR Cup Series action, the Iowa Corn 350 at Iowa Speedway, Sunday at 7 p.m. on USA.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that was an evening race. And I already got that. Yeah. And finally, the Dirt Car UMP Summer Nationals started last night. Tonight's action, they were supposed to be at Kankakee County Speedway, was canceled due to the forecasted severe thunderstorms. Hopefully they'll get back on track tomorrow night at Tri-City Speedway in Illinois. And then Fairbury Speedway on Saturday night. Sycamore Speedway in Maple Park, Illinois on Sunday. Then it's off to Davenport Speedway in Iowa on Tuesday. Adams County Speedway in Quincy, Illinois on Wednesday, June 19th. So the Hell Tour has officially begun.
It has arrived.
Yeah. Last chance to get in on our sticker giveaway here. If you haven't put hashtag DCR in the comments of our Facebook Live, do so now, because we're going to give this Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker away.
And associate producer Dave Kemmer says for Millstream, the pit gates open at 2 and general admission opens at 4.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you just had to point that out because you wanted to point out you're right.
No, I said Dave Kemmer. I didn't say me. I said Dave Kemmer.
Well, I know, but
All right,
he's
then.
backing up what you said. So had he not been backing up what you said, you wouldn't have told me that, right?
I still would have told you.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking. All right, I was just killing a little time so we can get a few more hashtag DCRs. Looks like we got about 19 entries in there. So let's bring that up. Again, it's just hashtag DCR in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. And we're going to spin the big wheel to determine tonight's winner. I hear the rain. So here we go. Let's move this out of the way. And we're going to draw for tonight's DCR Graphics Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Again, you can get these for just $5 from DCR Graphics. Put them on your car, and you can become part of the Hammer Down Army. Karen Van Pelt, who's already part of the Hammer Down Army.
Yeah, yes.
She's got herself a brand new Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, which she can pick up within 30 days from Ron Miller Race Cars.
That's it.
Right there in Lambertville, Michigan. Or is it Lambertville? It's Whiteford Township.
Yeah. I live in Ottawa Lake, but Lambertville Post Office, so...
Just above the border of Toledo. What, about a mile maybe, if that?
A mile and a half.
Is it that far? I don't even think it was that far. What did it say, 613? So congratulations, Karen Van Pelt. You won the second to last of the original supply of Hammer Down Racing Report window stickers.
But there'll be more.
There will be more. I think he's got like a new and improved one coming.
Ooh.
We shall see. So how about that? I think we're done.
Really?
Yeah.
Scott, we were just starting to have fun.
Yeah, I'm glad the internet came back. That could have been a little bit of a problem there. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Matt Swander, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on X at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Check out HammerdownRacingReport.com, and if you're part of the Hammerdown Army, don't forget to submit your results from the previous weekend. Just go to Hammerdown Army on HammerdownRacingReport.com. Click on the little Hammerdown Army menu item, and at the bottom of that page, there's a link that you can fill out a form and submit your results. Just that easy. Or you can send me a message on Facebook. That works too.
Did you submit yours, Scott?
I did, to myself.
Oh, good.
I haven't been in a feature in like 3 weeks, so.
Yeah, I can relate.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks to our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dipman Motorsports, Magic Moment Entertainment, and Victory Fuel. Thank you for helping us wash down our Big D's pizza tonight. John, thank you for bringing the Big D's tonight. Was there a particular reason that we were doing Big D's tonight? You just had an urge?
Because it was time.
It was time?
Yeah, it was time.
Okay.
2 weeks ago was donuts, so yeah, I'm not going to do the same thing twice.
Well, I was talking to Mike Young. I mentioned this earlier. Who?
No relation.
Not yet. Different related. Winner of the second place race at Flat Rock this past weekend. He's at a concert tonight. It's at Huntington Center.
Okay.
Some country thing. I don't know. But I told him he's missing out on pizza, so he's like, next week I'm bringing the pizza.
That works.
So that's kind of what I said. So Mike Young will be in the studio next week with us. We'll try and get Rex Wheeler from Owasso Speedway to join us as well, so we can talk to him about all the exciting things he's got going on up there at Owasso Speedway. That's just north and east of Lansing. I do believe. Never went there, and I went to school up in Lansing.
And for the first time all summer, the Hammerdown Weather Pit Stop can say, get your backside to a trackside this weekend. It's going to be spectacular.
The weather's going to be not an issue.
Fine.
Don't even have to look at the weather. It's not even going to be hot.
First time this year, Scott.
It's about time.
The weather hasn't jumped in and intervened.
It's about time. Thanks to our guests this week, Beth Cogley of Millstream Speedway, and, of course, Brennan Sherman, winner at Limaland, and we wish him luck tomorrow night.
Cool.
Actually, we wish both of them luck tomorrow night. Probably a lot of stress there for the Cogleys, but hopefully it all pays off for them.
I suspect the grandstands are going to be absolutely packed at Millstream tomorrow.
I think you are right. We'll be back next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Get out and support your local track, or even one that's a little further away.
Travel.
That's right.
Tons of choices this weekend. A lot of good racing. We'll see you next week.
I'll be at Oakshade Saturday.
I will too.
Hey, that's amazing.
Wow, same here.
Well, right.
You got to try
without anything to race, but
that is disappointing. I was hoping you'd bring your truck so I could show you how bad I was going to whip your butt for the Showdown
clear it
Series.
with tech, and I'll bring the truck and we'll race.
Well, you know the tech guys, so I think
so do you.
All right, we'll see you next week. Good night,
folks. Night.
You have been listening to the Hammerdown Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.